This time we're going to create a sprite by using something to guide us. My artistic abilities aren't at the top of the line, so sometimes it helps for me to have something to build it on. So that's my goal. So today we're going to be making a happy apple. So I'm going to title mine Happy Apple, and we're going to make a happy apple. To do that, one, I'm going to lose the sprite cat. And down here where I get sprites, instead of pressing the paint this time, I'm going to press upload a sprite. Now, before this, in my background, I've got a couple of them. And what right now I've got one called Apple. Apple is actually a coloring page, but it doesn't mind me at all. It brings it in. So it imports it. You can see I have Apple here. Now I'm going to go to costumes, and you can kind of see where that white background, that's the Apple picture. First thing I'm going to do here, in order for me to do a lot of anything to it, right now it's a bitmap. Bitmaps are fine, but really not what we want. We want SVGs, which are scalable vector graphics. So we want to press the convert to vector button first. We're going to get our cool tools that we miss and love so much. And I'm going to work on my apple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that there for my tracing. So I'm going to go to my paintbrush. I'm going to pick a fell that looks appley. So apples are red. So my apple's going to be red. I'm going to change the size of my brush because it's pretty small now. I'm going to actually make it rather large. Um, and I do wiggle a lot. So I'm going to take mine all the way up to 30. And I'm going to highlight my apple. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Later on we can, whoops. Later on we can come back and clean some of the outside edges up. Like I'm wiggling pretty bad there. And once I get all around, I can come around here, oops, clean some of it up. I've actually got an eraser, which we'll use in a moment. Right now I'm just going to clean up my lines on the outside here. I'm going to make it even wider. Then I'm going to paint the inside of my apple. Don't worry about the stuff sticking out. We're gonna hit it with an eraser here shortly, but not yet. If we hit it yet, it'll kind of make some mess on our backdrop. Okay, so I pretty much got my red apple. I do want to do some cleaning up. To do that, what I'm going to do is make my selection tool. I'm going to move that apple off the palette. Now I can see the parts where I'm missing. I'm going to go ahead and use the eraser tool. And right now it's pretty large too, and I'm going to slowly cleave off. Remember, a little at a time is better than a lot at a time. If you have access to other graphics tools, you can use them. You can import anything that's a ping or PNG file, and it'll work great in here. But right now we're just using the tools. So my apple looks pretty good. It may not be exactly what the original is, but I'm good with that. Now, to put on a leaf. So following the same thing, I'm going to pick that. I'm going to go for a green, leafy green. There we go. That's kind of leafy. And I'm going to do my thing again. It's a little wide. Probably shouldn't have made it so wide there. I'll go ahead and bring my brush down so I can get that top little corner there. My leaf I did far better than my apple. I did notice that the leaf had a little line in it that really helped with pretty. So I'm going to go to the line tool. If your leaf got a little wobbly outside, hit the selection tool, move the apple out of the way, clean up the leaf, then put the cool background back on. I'm going to actually add a line. So I want that leaf line, and that one was a straight line. If you saw it, it was just a straight line up and down it. So I'm going to use my line tool. I'm going to make mine that leafy green. It's going to be a little weird because I got to clean all this out. But I don't have to do all this. I can hit this little eyedropper here, and I can go press it right over that leafy green. It'll set it perfectly, and then all I got to do is make it a little darker. And then I'll start my line here. It's a really thin line. Let's take that one up to about, I'm going to say 10. And there we go. By the way, I cheated. I put it up and I just touched the corner and it brought it all the way up. All right, I'm going to put this back because now I need a stem. The stem is going to be a brown, probably one of the hardest colors to come by. So a brown, if you go down somewhere near the oranges, you'll notice you can do this bottom brightness thing until you get kind of a brown. Um, Actually, I want it a little bit thicker. Let's go 30. Because this looks like really I'm just pulling, and I'll pull my stem right down to my apple. Yay me. And now I got it. I'm going to move that aside. My apple looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to go ahead at this point and hit delete on this, or backspace if you're on a Chromebook. Now I just have my plain apple that was pretty much straightforward made. I'm going to make sure I save it because I've been working a long time and I hate to lose what I've been working for. Now, I want my apple to have eyes that move and a smile. So first thing I'm going to work on is this smile. Now, remember we used the eraser already a bit. I'm going to go for a circle, no fill, but my outline is going to be a black. And I'm going to make it, and I'm going to draw this oval a little wide this time. I do want it to be thicker than one. I'm going to, as long as it's selected, I can keep changing. I'm going to take it all the way up to 10. Now, here's the fun part. I use my eraser, and I can erase off the top parts of that and just end up with the bottom parts. Then I can grab and move that where I want it, resize it if I need to. Now I have a smile. Yay. Kind of looks like a bland smile. That's all right. So next I'm going to make him some eyes. I'm going to make an oval. I want a white fill this time with a black outline. So I'm going to highlight here. That's a little thick of a black outline. I'm going to bring that outline down to about a 5. Whoops. About a 5. I'm going to put a pupil in there. And that one is going to be filled black. And it's just going to be a small little pupil in here. I'm actually holding the shift key to make it a circle. And now I've got an eye. I'm going to go to the selection tool. Because I made one eye, I can have 2. So that one's already clicked. If I hold the shift key, I can click another. Then I can copy and paste, and I'll end up with 2 eyes. Now I'm going to use my arrow keys here to move my eye right across over here. It kind of makes it equal and safe. Now I got 2 eyes. I'm happy. I got a pretty good happy. I'm a happy apple. Happy apple. Okay. Up here, I told you before I like the name costume, so I'm going to go costume 1. I'm going to rename it from Apple to costume 1. Hit enter. I've got a great little thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him move his eyes across and then back. And that's really all I'm going to do for him today. To do that, I'm going to make a second costume. So I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to click the eyes. I'm going to click one eye, hold the control key, click the other eye. Oops, hold the shift key, sorry. Click the other eye. Then I'm going to use my arrow thing and go 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to do from that code, now that one's moved, I'm going to make a duplicate of that. I'm going to do the same thing. Click an eye, hold the shift key, click the other eye. Then 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make one more. Right now he looks like he's staring at you. Duplicate it. Click an eyeball. Hold the shift key. Click the eyeball. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make one more. I know I said it was going to one more. Duplicate it. Click the eyeballs. Hold the shift key. 1, 2, 3. Now this part gets interesting. Now I'm at 5, right? I'm going to go back to 4. And I'm going to duplicate 4, but put it right below what was 5. So now what I'm doing is working my way back to the right-hand side. So I'm going to go to 3 and duplicate it. And take that one that was duplicated and put it all the way at the bottom. Then I'm going to go to 2 and duplicate it. Take what was duplicated, put it all the way at the bottom. So I ended up with 9. So if I just went straight down, you can kind of see how his eyeball moves and then goes back. And that's what I wanted. I don't have to reduplicate 1 because he ends up there. Good. I got a bunch of costumes. The code is pretty simple to write. I click the code button. I want it on the... let's do when he's clicked. Does that make it more fun? So events. So when this sprite is clicked, we're going to make him do something. We're going to make him eyes go back and forth. So I want to, when I click him, I want a motion to take place at least a certain amount of time, at least 9 times. So let's do that. Let's do it 9 times. Let's go with control. We'll put on repeat, and we'll put on for 9 times or 10 times. Sorry, because we have 9 costumes. We want to go all the way through 9 and back to 1. Okay. We're gonna switch costumes with these looks. We just have to do next costume, and I can try it out. Remember to hit save. I can run it. Click on him. Click on him. Click on him. Click on him. He's he's having a good time. All right. So you made Happy Apple, and you can use that same technique to make almost any sprite.